Yo folks, it is now time to do this Q&A from my 4th year anniversary, and gosh do I have a list of questions to answer. Well, you've got questions, I've got answers, so I'll first answer the ones that I got in a video comment, then I'll do the ones that were sent through a PM, and to keep you guys from being bored, I think I'll add some of my favourite video game songs in the background, so you can listen to it while I answer questions. Alright, let's get to answering! Alright, first question comes from AQ Reviews, who asks, what do you think of Nintendo in general? Well, they're okay at the moment. I mean, they're just doing their usual stuff, but I think they're now just doing the same repetitive shit now. I mean, you've got Super Mario 3DS that's coming out for the 3DS, Star Fox Remake and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Remake, so yeah. The thing is, I just wish that they could add new innovations to their series, or maybe even make another series that would also be memorable, instead of just doing the same thing, you know? I guess it's just because their fan base is extremely nitpicky. But I'm not saying Nintendo is bad. I mean, they were groundbreaking back in the 80s and 90s. It's just, if they could at least keep up to that reputation instead of doing the same thing, I'm fully satisfied. Next questions comes from Here's Jordan for Ya, who asks, what are your 5 favourite video games of all time? Oh boy. Sorry dude, I can't answer that because everybody knows these kind of questions are tough, so yeah. Sorry mate. Question 2. Which is your most anticipated games of 2011? Ratchet & Clank All For One, Sonic Generations and Rayman Origins. 3. Which games are you looking forward to in 2012? Come on, you all know what I'm gonna say. Next questions come from Zeon the Hero Hog. Question 1. What are your thoughts on the Wii U? Not really keen on it, to be honest. I mean, it looks okay, but it looks like the Nintendo DS turned into a home console, so I can't really say I'm interested in it. Question 2. Ever been in a situation where you feel alone? A couple of times, but it's never been depressing or anything. Well, sometimes it's depressing, but I've been able to handle myself alone sometimes, so yeah, it's a mixed thing. And question 3, have you talked to your best friends lately? A couple of times on Facebook. Okay, next questions comes from King Raikou. Question 1, what is your favourite 3D Sonic game aside from Sonic Adventure 2 and why? Probably the original Sonic Adventure, because it has such a great story, and I know I complained about Big the Cat, because that's the reason why I prefer Sonic Adventure 2, but aside from Big the Cat, everything else in the game is awesome. And I will admit, the original did have a better story than Sonic Adventure 2, but what makes me prefer Sonic Adventure 2 is that it was more action-packed. 2. Who are your favourite characters from the Sly Cooper series and why? Obviously Sly, because he is awesome like that. Bentley, because he can be hilarious, and even though he's the most vulnerable in the team, he's still able to handle things by himself. Carmelita, because she is badass like that. Constable Neela, because she's evil. And Dimitri, because he is freaking comedic gold. Well, in the games that is. Question 3. If there was ever a crossover game featuring Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Jak and Daxter and Ratchet & Clank, what would your ideas for it be? I would probably give it cooperative gameplay, have each characters have their own separated story with their own gameplay, their own classic gameplay, and scrap party ideas. Ha! Take that, Spyro Orange! 4. Have you ever heard of or seen Regular Show? I've heard of it, but I'm not really interested in it. 5. Out of all your videos, which one are you most proud of? I don't really judge my videos that much because I usually leave the viewers for that to decide, but I'm probably going to say my top 15 3D platformers list, because, well, platformers are a main part of my gaming childhood and I was glad to bring it out. Next questions come from Dranik the Lombax Produ, who asks, question 1, you think Naughty Dog should make Jak 4? Hell fucking yes! Get to it, Naughty Dog, stop looking at the Uncharted series all the time. 2. What do you think of cartoons today? Well, the only decent cartoon that I've watched is Venice and Ferb, but aside from that, cartoons today are not really as memorable as they were in the 90s and all the other cartoon years. Question 3. What are your impressions on Sonic Generations? Ho, boy am I looking forward to that game. I've played a demo of it as a classic Sonic gameplay, And whilst I do enjoy the classic Sonic gameplay, I'm more hyped for the modern Sonic gameplay. With all honesty, I prefer playing as modern Sonic over classic Sonic. And now if you'll excuse me, I shall be waiting on hate comments from Mario to Plumber. 4. Is Doritos still your favourite food? One of them. I also like chips, pizza, and noodles. Yes, noodles, I'm a healthy person, leave me alone. Okay, next set of questions comes from Epic Gob. 1. What is your view on the Jak and Daxter series as a whole, including the spin-offs? Epic! Jak and Daxter is epic. It has to be my third favourite PlayStation series. You know, it goes Sly, Ratchet and Jak for me. You know, that's just me though. 2. You're a fan of 3D platformers clearly, but do you have any favourite 2D ones? Yeah, I do. There's Super Mario World, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Donkey Kong Country 2, and Mega Man 9. 3. You refer to Gecko in several of your videos. Was he some kind of inspiration or someone you haven't become an acquaintance to or through your similar videos? Well, yeah, he was an inspiration. He got me started, and I doubt I'll be doing reviewing if it wasn't for him. And he has become a friend with me as well. We've talked to each other on Skype. Acquaintance, I can't really say, but friends, yeah. 4. Have you ever been hyped for a game only to be massively let down? Yes. 5. If so, what game? Spyro Orange. Fuck that game. Okay, next set of questions comes from Super Pro 6 UYA33. 1. What is the best video game you've ever played? Can't say that, dude. Everybody knows that's a tough question. 2. What's your opinion on FPS games? Overrated, but some can still be enjoyable. 3. What is your favourite music? Mainly music from the 1980s and 1990s, and video game music. Though there is one type of music that I got into. That is New Jack Swing. In my opinion, it is way better than rap, and it's definitely one of the most underrated music genres out there. Okay, next set of questions comes from Richard Braith Baseball 2006. 1. What new types of videos are you going to start in the future for YouTube? More video game battles and reviews. 2. What was your starting inspiration to do YouTube videos for these 4 years? Oh boy. I think it was back in October 2007 when I saw Red Devil Dazzy's videos and Spyro videos, and since I was also a big fan of Spyro, I decided to take my sister's webcam and record footage of me playing some Spyro games. Yeah, those sucked, but I wish I could still see them just for nostalgia purposes. Okay, next set of questions comes from MixSpark86. 1. What game would you like to see get an HD remake like Sly and God of War did? Probably the Jak and Daxter series. That'll be pretty awesome. 2. New games, older games, or both? Obviously older games, but there's still some great new games nowadays. 3. Do you watch any other YouTube reviewers like Gecko, etc.? Of course I do. There was Gecko, as you mentioned, Shadowson11, Chief Shadow 1750, HandyToon, and the old reviews of Armake21, who is my favourite negative reviewer out there. Next set of questions comes from Almulia. 1. Should Sly 4 have new playable characters? Oh, I never really thought about that. I mean, I would expect them to bring back some of the characters like the Guru and the Panda King, but then again that would just be adding the same thing. But if they do add new playable characters, I hope they make them as fun as they were in Sly 3 and nothing too gimmicky. If Sanzura Games managed to pull that off, I'm fully satisfied. 2. What is your favourite game of the year so far? Portal 2. That game just got me into puzzle games, period. 3. Just to be a little random, what is your favourite movie? Just like what my favourite video game is, I can't answer that, dude. It's very, very tough. Next questions come from Spark Dude, who asks, what TV shows do you watch or watched? Because there aren't many good TV shows nowadays. Well, there is one TV show that I've watched a lot, and that is Still Game. Basically, it's a Scottish sitcom, so a lot of you don't know it, and it's probably the best comedy sitcom I've watched, and it's a shame that it doesn't air anymore and the series has already ended. But what can you do? 2. Where did the name Zookstar 1000 come from? Well, this was at the time when I was a fan of a British show called Bamzooki. It was basically a show where young contestants come up and make virtual creatures and fight in various arenas. And I was a big fan of that show, and I joined the website, and I also gave the username Zookstar1000. A few weeks later, when I decided to join YouTube, I was too lazy to think of another username, so I just used my name from the Bamzooki website, and thus Zookstar 1000 was born. 3. What are your favourite movie licensed games? Oh boy. I'm just going to say Disney's Tarzan because, well, just watch my review on it. 4. If you couldn't choose Sly as your favourite video game character, which one would you choose? There's Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Gex, and probably Banjo-Kazooie. 5. Are you planning to do a review for retro games? I'm guessing you mean games from the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis? If so, then not really, because I didn't really grow up with these games. Next question comes from Adams Wee. 1. May you name all your favourite nostalgia franchises and why? Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon because I played them in my childhood, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper because I played them at the days when I was finishing primary school. Oh, such great memories. Next question comes from JackFan1994. 1. Are you into comic book superheroes? If so, which ones are your favourite? I'm not really into comic book superheroes anymore, to be honest, but I used to be a fan of Batman. Okay, next question comes from Game7253. 1. What's your favourite video game memory? 2004. That game was... that year was awesome! I mean, we had so many great games like Jak 3, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, Sly 2 Band of Thieves, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Spider-Man 2. Oh boy, what a great year. Next questions come from Wormwars. 1. What video game series has the most disappointing downfall? Not counting this year's because Sonic games of course more only between games like Sonic 06 and so on until to Sonic 4. Most disappointing downfall? Can't really say that. I mean, I would say the Crash Bandicoot and Spyro franchises, but that'll be obvious. Oh well, I'll just go for that. 2. Which video game series do you think is making its biggest comeback this year? I'm gonna have to say the Rayman series because I played the first Rayman and I did like it. I didn't love it, but I'm expecting the Rayman Origins to be a bit better because I've seen the trailer. It does look like the original Rayman and it looks more wackier, and I'm looking forward to that. 3. When it comes to platformers, what do you look more into? Level design or gimmicks? Innovation, level designs, and anything new. That's just how I see it. That's the ultimate platformer in me. 4. What's the most confusing game you've ever played? Tale of the Sun for PS1. That game was mind-fucking. 5. Why do you like gay boys? You almost asked me, do you like gay boys? Oh, but seriously, I'm gonna get you for that. Okay, next questions come from Ange122002. Are you a fan of Call of Duty, or do you like a certain game? If so, which game? I'm not really a fan of the Call of Duty series, and the only one I've played the most is Call of Duty Black Ops, only because it's recent. But I only play it for the multiplayer. Everything else can go fuck itself. Next questions comes from SpiderSonic91. 1. What are your thoughts on the Hitman series? Funny you should ask that because I remember playing a PC game of Hitman, and I don't remember liking it or not, but yeah. 2. What do you think about zombie killing games? Gruesome, my boy, gruesome! 3. What is your favourite superhero? Batman. 4. Do you think the Madden series should stop and EA should make a better Ty the Tasmanian Tiger? Well, I've kind of forgotten about the Ty the Tasmanian Tiger series over the years. I mean, the only one I remembered was the original. But I guess they could. But the Madden series I think should end because we have too many sports games right now. Too many. I mean, people, you play sports outside, not inside, crying out loud.